He was the son of James and Veronica Howard, and his mother always referred to him as "my Chimmy." Born May 19, 1925 in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, Jim Howard entered St. Charles Seminary in 1943 and forged friendships which would last a lifetime.
You know, Msgr. Howard was a member of the famous class of 1952 of St. Charles Seminary. We were all very close to one another. We studied, for example, Italian in the seminary. Well, I have been speaking Italian all my life, but nevertheless, at the end of the year, when the awards were given out, I got the gold medal and I almost lost a friend because he thought somehow that he should have that medal. That's a fact. I don't think he ever got over it.
He celebrated his first Mass in June 1952 in St. Patrick's Church in Pottsville and was assigned as assistant pastor to St. Mary's in Beaver Meadows, where he gained the friendship and admiration of many parishioners. As assistant pastor of St. Francis de Sales in Lanai, and then Our Lady of Angels in Philadelphia, Father Howard became part of the lives of the parishioners, and they responded in kind, some making him part of their families.
I've known Msgr. Howard for 53 years from St. Francis de Sales in Lanai. Really, I've known him through my parents, Frank and Rose Negovetich. My mother and father had a great love for Msgr. Howard. My mother especially had a name for him, which was Flash Gordon. Monsignor would call at the last minute and say he'd be coming down for dinner. Mom would prepare a banquet for him in no time at all, because Monsignor would flash in and flash out real quick.
Msgr. Howard came to my home parish, Our Lady of the Angels, when I was in 7th grade. Our parish was a faith community with a lot of spiritual activities as well as social. My parents, Tom and Eleanor D'Alessandro, were very active with all these activities and were always there helping Father Howard with all he had to do. My brothers and I were told at a young age that Father Howard was our adopted big brother, and that he was. Many times we would go to Pottsville to visit his mom and dad, and they likewise would come down to visit us.
The influence he had on youth was exercised as he joined the faculty at Monsignor Bonner High School in 1958, and 2 years later as the disciplinarian at Cardinal Doherty High School. In 1968, Father Howard was named principal of Cardinal Doherty, at the time the largest Catholic high school in the world.
The first time I saw Father Howard, I was a freshman in high school, and it was the first day of school, and all the boys were gathered together in the auditorium. You could imagine what kind of noises were coming out of there. All of a sudden, Father Howard strode across the stage. He stood there, and you'd hear, "It's Howard, shh, it's Howard, shh, shh, quiet, Howard." And in about 4 seconds, the entire auditorium became silent. He stood there, and he looked every student in the eye, or at least it seemed like that. And he said, "Now this is how it's going to be." He stood there looking at us, pushing his sleeves up on his cassock as he customarily did. And that's how it was. Many years later, I asked him, "How did you do it? How did you keep control of all those kids?" He said there was a trick to it. He said, "Never let them know that there was more of them than there was of you."
In 1973, he returned to parish life when he was appointed rector of the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul, where he would touch the lives of thousands during the next 27 years. In November of that same year, he was honored by Pope Paul VI as a domestic prelate with the title of Monsignor.
In 1976, he welcomed prelates and people from around the world to the 41st International Eucharistic Congress. The following year, 1977, he pronounced that the cathedral would now be called the Cathedral Basilica, something he had worked at for a number of years. And then came the big event in 1979 when he greeted Pope John Paul II in the cathedral.
I was always impressed with the fact that no matter what was going on in the cathedral and the diocese, he was very much the pastor of the cathedral parish and very well knew intimately and was very concerned about all of his parishioners.
Monsignor was always open for suggestions, and Dr. Mary Ann Gordon suggested having a May procession. Monsignor agreed, and the first one was held on Mother's Day, 1995. My mother, the late Mary McGurk, was the May Queen at age 95. Monsignor encouraged her, as he encouraged other parishioners to participate in parish activities.
He had a great ability to make everyone feel welcome at the cathedral. You never knew when you lived with Monsignor Howard who you were going to see or meet in the course of the day. Political leaders, people from industry or business, or just people from his past that never ever forgot a kindness or something that he had done for them in the course of their life. And so he stayed very much connected to everybody here in the city of Philadelphia.
His good friend and classmate, Father Bononis, said that the pride of Pottsville had become the pride of Philadelphia. Actually, Monsignor Howard served the pride of Philadelphia, namely the police and firemen, for whom he was chaplain and spiritual guide for some 35 years and still is.
One of Monsignor's greatest loves has been supporting the brave members of the police and fire associations, serving proudly as the chaplain of the Sacred Heart League. He could often be seen hearing confessions in a police car on a Saturday night, or riding on a fire engine on the way to a fire. In his 56 years of priesthood, Monsignor has influenced the lives of thousands.
It was his enthusiasm and spiritual ideals that were instrumental in helping me in my decision to enter religious life. I'm sure you've heard him say many times, I took her to the convent 49 years ago, and that he did.
My mother was dying of cancer. Monsignor was there in no time at all, said a mass for her, was there the next day, and was there for her funeral.
He's just a wonderful priest. He's happy being a priest. He's good at being a priest. He's an example to other priests.
Monsignor had a scare, a health scare, and he was hospitalized in Jefferson Hospital. And during that time, we were trying to keep people away from him. The doctor implored me to, keep his visitors to a minimum, and it just seemed almost impossible because so many people called or came and saw and told me, but you don't understand, I'm a close personal friend of Monsignor Howard's. And by the end of the day, I just wanted to say to them, yeah, you and the other 200 people that I talked to today.
Priest, principal, rector, chaplain and friend. Monsignor James Howard embodies the gospel values of faith, valor, selfless service, personal sacrifice, and commitment.
Monsignor is truly deserving of the honors he is to receive today for his dedication to the priesthood for over 50 years and